Hey guys, what's up? It's the Crazy RC Maniac here, and today we're going to do a little waterproofing. So what we're going to be going over today are the AXiALs. Now, I know that you can go out and buy waterproof electronics, such as this high-tech waterproof servo, and that brush motors are waterproof in clean water. You can't really go out and buy waterproof gears or a waterproof AXiAL, but you can do some work that will make these fairly water resistant. And what I'm going to be using for that is a product I like to call marine grease. As you can see by this huge grease gun, there's my arm for comparison. As you can see, it just dwarfs my hand, and my arm is fairly average, I'd say. Well, anyway, so I'm going to be using this giant cartridge of marine grease. The brand of marine grease I use is Max. This is just the package for the grease gun. That's the product number for the grease gun. I believe that the actual grease is product like LX-1908. It's been a while, I can't remember too well, but that should be it. It's marine grease. It's like trailer bearing grease. I'm not sure, but it works very well. So, without further ado, let's get into the rear axle. Okay, so here we have the rear axle, and what I'm going to do now is just break it apart so we can put the marine grease in it. Okay, so now that we have the rear axle broken apart, it's time to slap on some latex gloves. Now that we have my latex gloves on, what I'm going to do is get the marine grease gun, take this cover off, which is just a plastic bag, take this cover off, and get greasing. So how we're going to do this is we're going to get the empty side of the axle housing and just prop it in a position where you can easily get this grease in it. So let's try to do it like this. So as you can see, you just want to plop some in there and just all throughout the housing. So once you get a little bit on there, what I like to do is just take the latex gloves and just wipe it around. That way it doesn't get jammed or anything. And then you just keep continuing to add a little more. Sorry for the camera angle if that is bothering you. I don't have anybody to film for me right now, and I'm trying to grease up some axles. So, just keep on squirting some grease from there. Take a little off of it, and just continue to put that down. You don't want to put so much that it binds the axle, like the drive shaft won't actually turn. But you want to get enough in there that it's not affected by water. So now that we have that side done, what we're going to do is move on to the part with the actual axle, or the actual differential, and just put some grease on that and smother it on. Don't worry about the other parts, like right here, because those will be covered when we stick it into that. And then you just want to just add a tiny bit to this side, because if you add too much, then, as I said, it will create binding. So you just want to add about 2 blobs, I'd say. It's good enough. And then you just take your latex gloves and rub it all about. And then what you do is you reassemble the axle. Some marine grease will pop out because it's just so that it will fit, but it's okay. It's always harder than it looks. And that's basically this axle done. Now you'll see me reassembling it as I get it back in the center. And yeah, and if you want to know how to take off these latex gloves without getting yourself all dirty, what you do is you grab this one like this, you get it like this, you slide your hand out of it, and then you get your finger, you slide it underneath like this, and you encapsulate both gloves into the dirty one, and your hands are nice and clean. So now it's time for me to reassemble this. Let's go. Okay, so that is how you waterproof a rear axle. Okay guys, it's the Crazy RC Maniac saying peace out, and see you next time on RC Explorer. That is how you clean the table. Bye-bye.